everybody, One of Wiisdom here with a cow, and I have already recorded today's episode. It's very unique, didn't get a lot done, but it took a ton of time. I guess I'll time-lapse it, might turn out to be a shorter episode. As always, I try to get this done as quick as possible. At the start of the episode, which is where we're at now, we're going to do the Scholar of Wiisdom. The Scholar of Wiisdom is very special, you can do it one time. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. Then at the end, we'll do our bonus bricks for the Wall of Wiisdom. So, only one Scholar of Wiisdom this episode. It's brick number 193. Again, they can sometimes be out of order because they're that special. It is Orion's Islands. Now, we go way back to the days where people were viewing they actually still do. You'd be amazed how many views my blog gets. But anyway, he writes, "My first, I am a Scholar of Wiisdom, and hashtag Meta Knight for good measure. Consider me the travel agent for exciting trips to Orion's Islands, lol. I came into Wiisdom's orbit most likely during the days of Skylanders Giants. See, it's been so long I can rightly remember exactly. I started playing Skylanders with my son halfway through the release of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure." So, Orion's Islands, he has been here since 2011 to 2012. We'll go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a very active member on the Skylander Club forum, skylanderclub.com, and if you're wondering about the islands in his name, you're like, doesn't make sense. Well, back in the day, SSA and Giants, he actually started building. This is before the Power A displays came out, but he would build his own crafted islands. You can check him out online. I believe he's posted a few on the Skylander Club. So let's see. It would be, since 2011, Skylanders with Sun. Dadgum, nothing fits. Skylanders with Sun. So that works, right? It has to. So big thanks to Orion's Islands for becoming a Scholar of Wiisdom. Again, if you want to be a Scholar of Wiisdom, full information down below in the description box. But all you need to do is leave the name you want me to use. If your name is Abigail Ashley is your name, and your YouTube username is Emma Stone, and you want me to go by Emma Stone, put that. If you want me to use your Twitter handle, whatever you want, just make sure that you put it there. So if Orion's Islands wanted to go by like Ryan and Larry, just place that. Then what I want to know is your favorite thing to watch on the channel, or what brought you to the channel. In the case of Orion's Islands, it was Skylanders, and if you recall, whenever you found that series, whether it's Skylanders, SSA, or Giants, or Swap Force, or Minecraft, or Wii Fit, or whatever it might be, if you know the rough, either the game or the general time that you discovered it, let me know. I'll put that on there for bragging, right? So that's all you got to do. Again, more info in the description. I try to do this as quick as I can, but if you want to be a Scholar of Wiisdom, you know what to do. Again, big thanks to Orion's Islands, and if you've not become a Scholar of Wiisdom, what are you waiting for? That's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys back here after the episode for our bonus bricks in the Wall of Wiisdom. Alright, hey everybody, What a Wiisdom here. 7/22, July 22nd was the last time I actually played in this solo world, and I recorded what will be a time lapse where we gathered this stuff. Lots and lots of this stuff. So, what am I gonna do with it? Well, you'll find out later. so here we are. I stopped and got even more of this stuff. Still not gonna tell you why. And I should probably kill some of those pigs, to be honest with you. But here is the Lost Woods as it stands. I probably didn't. That thing always shows up. Oh, I don't have fire. But I get my enchants so mixed up between this and Minelogix. Is there another one in here? Anyway, what was I gonna say? Something probably not profound or important. Anyway, yeah, we're taking this branch here. Hello, leave him, he's cool. Here we are, and if we come over this way, as you can see, that's my little dock there. We've got the squids. Of course, we explored that way when we came back from the desert. Look at the sand particles. This will freak you out the first time. I think they added it, I can't remember if it was 1.9 or 1.10, but anytime there's floating sand, like technically that shouldn't be there, right? If I were to put a torch, it would update and fall. They do those little particle effects. That's kind of cool. But anyway, what I am going to do is something I have never seen anyone do in Minecraft, and it's not starve to death. Plenty of people do that. TWK is always starving on Minelogix, although I think he has a food supply now. But right here, my friends, this is a pretty cool little area, right? And we've even got more shorelines that direction, if you will. But I'm going to do something I've never seen done, and granted I haven't really checked for it, but I've seen a lot of Minecraft videos in my day, and it's something I have legitimately, honestly, never seen anyone do before, and that makes it interesting to me, because one of the things I try to do here is sort of like my own style of builds and, you know, cumbersome projects and whatnot, but also things that there's not a lot left that you just sit there and slap yourself and be like, why did no one do that yet? It's so obvious. And I think I've got something. I've run it by a few people, and none of them have been like, oh yeah, that was done in 2012, man. You know, or they cite off, you know, a couple of channels, because generally, the way Minecraft works, when someone has a pretty good idea, someone else goes and copies it, and then they take credit for it, and then people are kind of lost, and they're like, who really came up with this? And it's usually credit goes to the wrong person. But for what it is worth, I have never seen anyone do this. Probably because it's one of those things, I think it's cool, but a lot of people will probably think it's stupid. Some of you will be right there with me when I thought of it, and you'll be like, why didn't I think of that? You know, but all I'll tell you is it involves this stuff, and I did make a fishing rod while I was in the cabin over there, which if you follow the mouse, you know exactly what I mean, right? I was over there. Everything's breaking too. Anyway, I've got a crafting table. I'll need that. I procured barely any more food than I had, which is fantastic. I guess we can go fishing if we need to. But it's going to transform this, and it will make this a signature landmark, at least in my world here. And more importantly, I've been holding off my build in the city at Minelogix because I think I'm going to do this too. But I'm going to go ahead and get something going here, and then I'll sort of explain it to you. So you had better stay tuned, because this is probably going to be either the greatest thing you've ever seen or one of the dumbest things you've ever seen. And I don't know which it's going to be for you, but I do know it should be cool, and I think it's neat. So I just have to put it in place and see if it holds up to what I envision in my mind. So stay tuned. I'll catch you back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, here we are. I've run around, I was hoping to find some sheep over there. No dies, everything but sheep, chickens, pigs, cattle, you name it, squids. No sheep. I kind of need wood too. I left my axe back over there, but this is what it looks like from here. Again, it's not necessarily centered, but again, we can adapt to this easier than we can kind of build that. Phone goes off again. So, this is what it's looking like. Again, I'll get rid of the dirt. For now, I'm sort of like tweaking it. It's not necessarily going to be equal going to the banks. That sort of bothers me, but in the end, I think it'll turn out okay. That said, I also came over here so I could actually do this and get going quicker. Okay, what? Right. Yeah, I got messed up when I had to answer my phone there. Or not answer it, but check it. Anyway, I'm sort of going, I'm tweaking it now. I had built out, obviously, and now it's sort of all changed. You can't really tell, but there's like 2 layers of dirt. There's one on the outward side as well, at least for most of this. And what I'm going to do now is dismount here, and I'm probably going to go fell some trees. But it's coming together, and then we'll kind of try to get an aerial of it somewhere. So we'll be back shortly, and we will see how we're progressing here on the Sleepy Harbor. Check that out. It's a beautiful sunset over Sleepy Harbor here. We got the spruce forest, we got a birch island, desert island, our homeland here, and of course the framework for Sleepy Island. Only problem when you're doing something like this and you're far from your base, you know, relatively speaking, you don't have anywhere to bed down for the night. And I mean, it's a shame that we, you know, can't go to sleep anywhere, but I think we can, before the monsters get out, we can probably make it over here. We'll start running. I usually have a bed on the hot bar. That's, you know, just not the case now, but I think we can get back over here to our bed that we threw down. I also cooked some of the food we got, so jackpot, we did it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna need wool and actually I've pretty well maxed that. We can make like 1 more bed, so I'm probably gonna backtrack that direction. The good news is, oh, I thought that was a villager for a second. Together, please. If you come together, I can kill you at the same time. Ah, rob me of your XP. One time I don't have water on the hotbar. Okay, anyway, I'll probably take out some trees and go get some sheep is what I'm thinking. It's a shame we don't have a good way of getting back there, right? You know, like somewhere sheltered and that sort of circumnavigated this terrible terrain that's difficult to travel on. If only there was like some sort of a tunnel system that would take us from point A to B in a quick and time-efficient manner. You know, we'd save a lot of time, but that's not the case, right? So, anyway, I don't really want to take down these trees. They sort of mask the lost woods. And then the ones up here, of course, I have here because I constantly need wood for the signs for the Scholars of Wiisdom. So they kind of have to stay. And the good news is, though, the sheep are all on the plain side over there. So, oh my. I'm having a lot of trouble with my sprint keys here lately. But, dun dun dun. Nice. Can we do that? If we sprint, we'll make it. Okay. So I've got to go shear some more sheep. I'm not going to time. There is some very cool terrain over there you should have seen in the time lapse. But I'll get over here. I'll come back with a whole bunch more wool, and I'll probably knock down some trees too. So I'll catch you back here in just a few seconds. And we're back. I don't know if I got quite enough wood, but nearly another stack of wood. So we're doing good in that regard. Let's grab that. We'll plank out this stuff. Let's see, where will we stop? 64, we'll go with the stack. And I will throw that in there along with the saplings. Should probably plant those, whatever. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. So that's going to lay out 21. And the holdup, of course, will be our inventory. That said, I think we've got a load for now. So we'll go out here and see what we can't do. It sucks when you have to go away from this because you kind of lose your train of thought. You know, like how you're trying to even it all out and everything. Anyway, we did 6 out, 12 outs, and then another round of 12. Kicking it down one more was one of the big changes we made. Look at the sun setting below the ocean, just like you can only see in video games. It's beautiful, isn't it? The great thing about working on a project like this out in the middle of nowhere away from your base is that you can sleep anytime you want to. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so if we could wake up. There we go. Okay, squids are still happy. I think this side is going to turn out to be a little bit longer, but that's okay. Okay, I have actually settled into a pattern. I've still not been back over there, but we have our 6 out, right? White on the perimeter, and then it transitions to what will eventually be a pillar, and the red sides meet up. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do 5 beds each time. I think that'll probably be the best way to do it, which that's roughly, 10, 12 blocks, somewhere in there. And then we have the space here, and then this is going to look like a connector. So white touches white on the corner, and then we run red into red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course right there we've got our block and the connector, so this bed doesn't really count. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again we end on the 5th, and this is, like I told you, the dirt was sort of doubling up, and this kind of brings it down a little quicker too, which is sort of a cool effect in my opinion. So now we need to place 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 right there. Let's see how this is going to look. And of course, red touches red. So there's 1. You got to spin around to get white on white. That's 2. Red on red, 3. That's a really heavy, nasty rain outside. I should shut down. This will be 4 right here. And then our last one, red touching red, white on the perimeter. And then if we follow our format, we place down there. It was not supposed to rain tonight, so all these other days have had rain chances. They've done nothing. And so once again, white on white, sort of our perimeter. Again, all this stuff I'll probably eventually move away unless... I just had the crazy idea right before I started recording. What if I doubled this up? That is a super heavy rain. Hope there's not bad lightning. But, I wondered if that's going to take a ton more resources, double, essentially. But that would actually look really cool. Nonetheless, I now have my pattern, and I'm going to see if I can't sort of translate that to something here. So I'll try to just complete this side, and then we'll go about our business. Oh snap, we've done it. We have actually completed one side of this thing. The bad news is now we got to go through and painfully remove a lot of dirt. And the good news, though, I think it looks decent. Again, I'm kind of torn on if I'd like to double this thing up. And I actually think that would look really cool, but I don't know if I want to take the time at this point in time to actually spend that many resources on it. So let's run over here and see how close we are to completion. And we might have to tweak it. That is correct. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That matches the pattern. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is where we've got to start switching this thing up. Good news is we have inventory slots. So this is where I was... Oh no. Oh, this is very deep. Seriously questioning this. Right, we're gonna take a lot of damage here, I'm afraid. That bed is gone. It's gonna be gone for a while. Maybe someday we'll reunite. But hey, anywho, that's a lot deeper than I was aware. Which is not good. I had other plans here that I won't go into at this point in time. Had this mapped out, I think we're gonna tweak it a little bit. And this format seems to be working pretty well for me. So I guess I'll start breaking all this. Probably make a shovel finally. That would speed things up, wouldn't it? And just kind of get this back in check. We'll probably wind up connecting more over this point area as opposed to over there, which I think will be cool. This is sort of more of like the natural buoy lines, at least the ones I've seen. So we will see what this looks like here in a little bit, and I will catch you there. I don't know why I typed that. I suppose I could have said it since I'm here. But yeah, our trajectory actually wasn't too far off. Again, I labeled 2 points here. This negative 152.63, 201. Our elevation was the same on both sides, believe it or not. And then 201 versus whatever the other number was. So this thing is pretty well framed out now, our sleepy little harbor. And I think it's kind of cool. It looks like the little buoy lines like you see, you know, like if it was the safe part of the ocean versus the dangerous part or something along those lines. And this is a lot deeper than I thought it was. I guess I should have known given how like dark it was, but I didn't think it was like gonna be that deep. I figured maybe, you know, like 6 or 7 deep, and I think that's as proven when I nearly drowned, that is not the case. So what I'm going to do now to make this look better is remove all the dirt, and it's going to take a long time. And if you're thinking, wait, you can't do that. There's no way that bed's going to stay there. I was right. The inspiration for this actually came from Minelogix. I was there in my bedroom, and I was like, you know, this is kind of plain. I wonder what I could do to improve it, make it more unique. And I had my bed there, and there was like just this cavity, and I had actually torn it out. I was out of polished andesite, I guess. And so my thoughts were, hey, you know, I'm gonna do something about that. And what I did is actually wind up playing around with the bed, and it turned out pretty cool, I have to say. It's like in phase 17. I've done so many stupid like redstone traps and hidden points and stuff in that base, but that is where the inspiration came from. I was like, it'd be cool to have, you know, because I was in my bedroom, and so I was like, well, it'd be cool to have a water bed, you know, wouldn't it? And I was like, yeah, I think it would. And so that's what I did, and I'm trying to get as much of this back as possible while still, you know, doing it efficiently quick. But that's really where the inspiration for this came from, is something as simple as being in my bedroom on the server and being like, hey, that's like a water bed. And so that's basically what this is. At the end of the episode, I'll show you some other cool things about this, but right now this is basically like a buoy line, and hence why this is going to be called, are you ready for it? I've mentioned it before. Are you ready? Sleepy Harbor. See what I did there? Pretty crafty, I think, but I'll try to get up in the sky, maybe at the midpoints, and before I take all the dirt down. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to save as much as I can from the bottom of the sea. But I will pillar up, and we'll kind of take a look at it from there, give you an aerial. I think that's where it should look its best. Sadly, we won't be there too often, at least not until we have Elytra, but I think it'll come together nicely, so let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you back here as we progress towards that. Hey everybody, what a Wiisdom here. It's been a long time that it took to remove all that dirt, but I had to save it for good reason. As you can see, I've got a pretty nice aerial here, and that's down sort of where we had our initial boat docks. You can see the squids. There's the Lost Woods tunnel over there. Our main base is over that way. And if you're ready for it, dun 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 dun, Sleepy Harbor's buoy line. That is right. We're roughly in the middle between the pillars of 6 on each side, sort of like the welcoming points. I think it was like 14 blocks. This is kind of about as central as we can get. Pretty cool view out there into the distance, actually. But check this out. I wish there was a monument down there. Sponges would come in very handy. I've actually looked at this, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's 8. Well, that's unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I thought it was just one off, so 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That said, I could totally, like, blow that island out and make this completely equilateral. Although that would kind of be sad, because I mean it's a natural, you know, harbor, if you will. So that is what I'm christening this thing. It is Sleepy Harbor. I would love to actually just dive down, but if I were to do that, I would then have to like waste time getting back up here. So this will be probably like some sort of a framework, an arch welcoming thing, but at each turn down point where I have the white touching the whites, I left a piece of dirt. And the reason I did that is because if I ever decide to build or come in and, like, you know, double this thing up, make it shaped or something, that will be so I don't have to start all the way at one bank or the other, or at the very bottom of the ocean and come up, or from the central points or something. It should camouflage nicely. I might switch it out to cobblestone. Not 100% sure, but these actually, if I can get back up there, are pretty efficient means of traveling, and since they're, you know, tilted like we did them, you can navigate them fairly well. So let's come up this direction to get a vantage point on it. Looks pretty crazy, right? But I think it's going to turn out to be neat. I can tell you right now, I know of no one that's ever done this. I don't know if it's because people think it's a dumb idea or if just simply because no one's ever thought of it. But you have to admit, it looks like a buoy line, doesn't it? And that's what we're going for. So this is Sleepy Harbor. It's also sort of like Safety Harbor. This will be our main, like, seafaring point, at least on this side. There's a lot of the world we've yet to explore, but when we went out through the desert and found the desert temple / village and the swamp, and then we sailed back for an eternity and wasn't sure where we were going and all that stuff. Oh my, that could have been horrible. There's a lot of lava over here, believe it or not. There it is, man. It's not too bad, really. Let me pillar up here and we'll get another vantage point of it. We'll strip. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, is it? I think it's cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me cinematic camera. Take a screeny there, and that, my friends, is Sleepy Harbor. I actually, yeah, okay, this is very dangerous what I'm doing. Used my second hand, I assume the screenshot was taken. Gonna back up over this. F1 should have 2. Yes, we do. Fantastic. Alright, and yes, I am playing this at midnight. That's when I do this stuff. There's my acacia. Oh, we got a nice view of our base over there. Not that you'd know there's much there, just kind of the pumpkin wall. There is the wall of Wiisdom over right in that area. Can't really see it too well. That's the entry point, the back way to the Lost Woods. But I think it's pretty cool, in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts on it. I guess we're like 30 high off the ground here. Let's find out exactly. 101, so, you know, decent view here of our Sleepy Harbor. And again, the way this thing connects, it's kind of cool, and then it has some river systems and whatnot. I might actually have that thing canal through here at some points. I don't know, we'll figure it all out, but let me know your thoughts on this thing. I think it's going to turn out to be pretty sweet. I want to show you some other cool things that you can do with beds, if you were unaware. So, what we need to do, oh, strange, is just come out right here. Basically, this looks to me like an old-fashioned life preserver, like the classic life preserver, you know, that you see hanging on the side of a ship or something. And you can fill it in, of course, for example, if we were to do that, and you can sort of then frame it out however you want it to look. And I have to say, there's some pretty neat things you can do. And again, this is stuff I've never seen anyone even mention doing, which sort of makes it unique to us here, which is cool. It's very hard to do that again in Minecraft, as I mentioned earlier. But we drop that down. We got a few more beds to play with, so let's do it proper. There's that, and then we'll even it out here. So you get the feel for it. I mean, you can basically design all kinds of stuff, and then of course you just remove the dirt. You can have that open up to things. It could just, you know, if this was water, if I break that, I can just kind of be like, you know, hey, you know, here I am in my life preserver. If you've got a buddy, they could get like a screenshot of you or something on an SMP. Pretty cool stuff, I have to say. But that said, let me know your thoughts on this. Is it cool? Is it amazing? Are you kicking yourself for not thinking of it? Or do you just think it's absolutely ridiculous and could care less? Won't hurt my feelings, but if you want my opinion, I think it's cool. That's why I took the time to shear 1,000,000 sheep and cut down a ton of trees. and build that massive thing. So this is the beginning of yet another massive project. I have many plans here for Sleepy Harbor, and let's get a cinematic shot with the sun going down over Sleepy Harbor right there. I'll go ahead and screen this one as well. That's some very nasty sounding thunder, isn't it? Don't mean to take another one. That's it. I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to go do the Scholar of Wiisdom and the Wall of Wiisdom, so I hope I will see you there for that. And in fact, you've already seen the Scholar of Wiisdom. I just haven't done it yet. The powers of editing and the magic that it is, we'll place it there. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, Sleepy Harbor. Again, I've got some cool ideas here. And I think it's going to turn out to be pretty dadgum neat. So if you got any ideas that inspired you or whatever you want to get off your chest or yell at me or something, feel free to do so. I'm going slow. That's the lava. I knew it was somewhere. But yeah, so we'll get over here and do the Scholars of Wiisdom and the Wall of Wiisdom. And like I said, Lost Woods... Between the Lost Woods and Sleepy Harbor, we're going to be busy for a long time. And, lest we forget, I've still got the frickin' Mineshaft to explore. Perfect world, that would lead me to the Stronghold, and then we just run into the Nether, and then go to the Stronghold, and, just do all this crazy, seemingly pointless, but somehow cool stuff that I want to do. So, that said, I'll get cracking over here, and I will see you for the Scholars of Wiisdom. Alright, hey everybody, One of Wiisdom. As promised, we are back for our bonus bricks again. First off, big thank you to Orion's Islands for becoming a Scholar of Wiisdom. If you don't know the drill yet, check out my featured video or simply check out the information in the description box. I think we started at 165 today. Carlos, Minelogix Season 2, Episode 13. 166, Carlos as well, Beach Run in Stardew Valley. 168, Carlos, Steel Sword, Stardew Valley. 167, Carlos, no, it's out of order. Sometimes it happens, it's very difficult. Hashtag Happy Meal from Skylanders Superchargers. 169, Ominix. Hashtag Beach Run from Stardew Valley. 170, Carlos, hashtag Ominex Trail from Minelogix Season 2, Episode 14. Number 171, Ominex, hashtag Minelogix Slime. 172, Miss Julia, hashtag Steel Sword from Stardew Valley, Episode 38. 173, Ominex Conveniently with Ominex Trail from Minelogix Season 2. 174, Ominex, hashtag Steel Sword from Stardew Valley. 175, Pokemon Master Skywalker or Ominex, hashtag Clutch, Stardew Valley, Episode 39. 176, Ominex, hashtag Greenhorn, Stardew Valley, Episode 50. It's very hard to fit that. 177, LOL It's Evlo became a Stardew Scholar. In addition to having a bonus brick phrase or title for each episode, you can also become a Stardew Scholar. So, take advantage of that. 178, Natfire25, hashtag Meta Knight. 179, Ominex, hashtag MLX Diamonds. He was there with me for that episode. Number 180, Ominex, hashtag Meta Knight from the unboxing. 181, Hunter Brandt, hashtag Hatless Herald. Minelogix Season 2, Episode 16. Very interesting episode. You should check that out if you have not. 182 goes to Ominex for Copper and Stardew Valley, Episode 41. 183, Ominex, who was again there with me for Hatless Herald. Who did kill Hatless Herald? Again, if you've not seen that episode, watch it. It remains a mystery on the Minelogix server. 184 is going to be Carlos Leon Solis, hashtag Van Down by the River, from Wiisdom Plays Minecraft Episode 18. Have you seen it? It's right there. But if you haven't seen the episode, shame on you. You need to watch that as well. Number 185, LOLS Evlo, also hashtag Van Down by the River. And again, our Scholar of Wiisdom for this episode, Orion's Islands. That said, I'm trying to get to a point where I can breeze through these a little bit quicker, but it is what it is. I wonder where all these cattle are coming from. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on today's episode. Did you think it was a great idea, a horrible idea? I've still got 2 beds left. But I think it's very unique, and personally, I do like it. So let me know your thoughts. I've got some very big plans for the Sleepy Harbor. We're going to get back to the Lost Woods. Something else, those of you that regularly watch this series can tell me. Would you rather see me continue on either in Sleepy Harbor or the Lost Woods, or go down to the Mineshaft? Those are like our 3 options for next episode, so if you want to weigh in, feel free to. That said, I'm going to try to wrap this up so it's not like an astronomically long episode, but let me know your thoughts. I will be very interested to see what you have to say. That said, this episode all about the beds, was it not? I think so. So let me know again what you think of it, and I will catch you back here for more Wiisdom Plays Minecraft.